Well, first, hello and welcome everyone to our webinar, Biometrics Meet Inc. Revolutionary Tattoo Recognition. I'm David Lote, Sales Manager here at TECH5 USA. Today, we'll explore how biometric tattoo recognition is transforming investigations and helping law enforcement turn ink into actionable intelligence. Next slide. For today, I'm joined by a few of our key leaders at TECH5 USA. First, we have Gary Newland, Vice President of Sales, Mark Vernig, our VP of Product Management, and Jonathan Nichols, our Principal Product Manager. Also here today, we have Gary Manetti, who's our Senior Director of Public Safety, and Teresa Hernandez, our Marketing Manager. Altogether, this team brings decades of biometric innovation and law enforcement technology expertise. And what's kind of neat is I've had the pleasure of working with some of these folks for over a decade, and they're all really passionate in helping our customers solve real world problems. So it's been a pleasure to work with them. I know they're excited to work with you guys as we go forward. Next slide. At TECH5, we specialize in AI-driven biometric solutions. Our work with federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies has transformed identity enrollment and verification processes from slow and siloed to fast, accurate, and mobile. Next slide. Now, here's a look at some of our partner agencies across North America, as we support agencies from California, Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, Indiana, and many other states, as well as Canada within North America as well. Each of these implementations show how TECH5 helps officers streamline intake, enhance investigations, and improve public safety outcomes. Next slide. Now, missing tattoo data can lead to missed links in cold cases, incomplete suspect profiles, and repeated interviews. Recognizing tattoos early and accurately in the process gives officers a clearer picture and leads to faster case resolutions. Next slide. In many cases, tattoos are the only unique identifier of an unknown victim. And without biometric technology, identification often depends on DNA or public tips, which often can take years, as we'll show later in some use cases. We can definitely do better with advanced tools at our disposal to really support quicker case resolution and justice at the end of the day. Next slide. Now, here's some use cases we'll get into. And this is right here is a real world case from 1991 that illustrates the challenges that we are helping law enforcement solve today. Here, a murder victim with a distinctive scorpion tattoo went unidentified for over 30 years. Had biometric tattoo recognition existed at the time, Christine Belusco might have been identified within days. Next slide. In another delayed identification case, the victim Peaches remained unidentified from 1997 to 2025, even though her tattoo was widely known. Biometric tattoo recognition could have cross-referenced her tattoo to old records, potentially preventing a decades-long delay. Next slide. Now, in this crime-solving case from 2021, James McGrew's stomach tattoo helped identify him from Capitol riot footage when he was assaulting officers. In today's world, biometric tools could automatically match video stills to tattoo image repositories from criminal bookings in seconds, avoiding months' delay. Next slide. Here's another case, which was an attempted kidnapping in Washington. Investigators were able to get the suspect's identity using a tattoo visible in surveillance footage before he could try again. However, the thing is, the manual process was painfully slow. This, too, is another case where AI-driven biometric tattoo recognition could have really helped identify this person within seconds. Next slide. And here's the final case we'll touch on. In this case, Gordon, who had evaded capture for 2 years, was caught and arrested over 1,300 miles from the original crime scene because someone happened to recognize his tattoo from a Facebook post. This does show that the manual process in identifying tattoos can work. However, the access and ability to leverage a tattoo image recognition solution could have done this in hours, scanning public images for matches to known fugitives. Next slide. Now, tattoos are often unique, yet they are also historically underused in investigations. Leveraging tattoo recognition tools will, for these underutilized images, and to searchable or turn them into searchable identifiers, offering the same speed and accuracy you expect from well-known use of fingerprint and facial recognition systems that have been widely used over the years by many agencies throughout North America. Next slide. Now we are in an era of AI-driven biometric tattoo recognition. Since 2014, the FBI NGI has supported descriptive tattoo searches. Emerging systems now support image-based matching of tattoo photos in sketches, which really helps leverage all those existing tattoo image repositories that are, in use throughout all the state agencies and local agencies as well. Next slide. Biometric tattoo recognition, what it does is converts once overlooked body art into instant investigative leads. Whether it is a homicide victim or a suspect, tattoos can now be searched just like fingerprint and faces. We're moving away from that slow manual review process of galleries of tattoo images to a more fully automated recognition system to truly expedite suspect identification, homicide victim ID, including missing person cases. Next slide. Now, before I pass it on to Mark to really dive deeper into the technology to show you how this all happens, I want to get into this hypothetical use case. Here, imagine a homicide detective is reviewing a cold case, and he uploads a tattoo photo from 2003 into their biometric tattoo recognition system. Now, the system finds a match to a 2001 mugshot. The victim's identified, the case is reopened, and new leads emerge, all in minutes. What was once a cold case can now move forward to possibly closure in today's technology. So before I hand it off to Mark, I just want to say I appreciate you all allowing me to go over these use cases and really hopefully drill down on the use of the technology utilizing your existing galleries, tattoo image galleries that are out there, and leveraging the tools we have today with actual biometric tattoo recognition systems. So Mark, I'll hand it off to you. You can get into the technology.
Thank you, David. Those are definitely very interesting use cases and examples of how the technology can help to solve that. Because too often tattoo images sit unused in isolated systems, as you mentioned there. Without tattoo recognition, they're just remain as hidden clues, if you will. Now, modern policing technology makes these images searchable even across jurisdictions to make this a new avenue of identifying possible suspects in a lot of cases. Biometric tattoo recognition using AI to match tattoos, even if they're faded or partial, obscured, low-quality surveillance cameras, can provide just the kick an investigation needs to get leads on possible suspects. These solutions work with our existing systems and are designed for law enforcement specifically to work along with the other criminal history databases that they have and other methods of performing investigations. With the TECH5 solution here, T5 Identify Tattoo, officers can identify suspects when other biometrics are not available, such as in the one of your examples where surveillance camera had the person's tattoo on their arm, but the face was just obscured enough. The license plate never got captured in the surveillance camera. The only thing they really had to go on was that tattoo. And with that tattoo, you're able to search systems really much faster to resolve cases faster. And in the end, that builds trust and delivers justice. T5 Identify is a modern browser-based platform, set of solutions really, that supports face, fingerprint, and tattoo recognition. It offers accurate results from the office or some applications from the field, and it's also expandable. We have technology to incorporate iris and palm print technologies as well for recognition. Now I'll go ahead and introduce the T5 Identify product line itself. Because our law enforcement suite overall, actually, broader than just T5 Identify, is used by many state and local police, sheriffs, federal agencies. It supports a whole range of applications from civil applicant processing, bookings, inmate intake, various types of investigative tools, including lineups and biographic and biometric identification. And all of that is within single scaled modern platform. The T5 Identify product is what performs the biometric identification, either from the web or in some cases from mobile devices. T5 Identify itself typically runs in a browser. Detectives and investigators can match biometrics from images captured, from photographs, from surveillance cameras, off the internet perhaps, or directly from live subjects if they're there, and even video stills. And it's very intuitive and accessible for any type of authorized device to do that, whether it's fingerprints, or we'll talk more here about the tattoos, but as well as facial recognition. Some of the kind of use cases more generally, I mean, you had some very specific case histories, if you will, but the types of use cases that can be covered here are very different. And looking specifically at the mobile application, which I'll just touch on, typically used by traffic cops or police officers or other people in the field when they want to do a quick identification of someone as depicted there. But it could also be used for other types of things like inmate transfers or crime scene investigations. And then just briefly, our T5 Identify Face is kind of shown here. Again, you upload face images that you may have gotten from surveillance cameras or wherever it may be. We search the mugshot databases that we have, or from other systems that you have access to, we can search. And we use our top-rated TECH5 face biometric algorithms for that, as we do for all of our algorithms, and return results, including all the comparisons of the probe and match images, as well as details of prior arrests and other criminal histories. Similarly with fingerprints, whether it be using this from a browser, or this is a good use case to use a mobile phone to do this and to get a quick identification. Again, using TECH5's own top-rated biometric algorithms, and can use our own database, and can also use work with existing databases for that, such as your state ABIS. Just to touch on that more, all of our solutions are fully managed SaaS solutions, so we support these in very secure AWS Gov Cloud, completely FBI CGIS compliant. It's been certified in a number of states. We allow users to just use a web browser, a web app to use most of the capabilities. Also have some capabilities on mobile devices. In the back end, we have biometric databases, we have biometric algorithms, and we offer integration with state or other government systems. And again, a solution can actually do searches against first a local database, and then maybe a state or regional database for any of the biometrics, and then with FBI or federal databases such as FBI, NGI, or their risk database. Well, let me go into the details now on T5 Identify Tattoo. Very exciting new product that really fits a need as we've discussed here. So first off, in order to capture the tattoo images to begin with, it's just part of the normal booking process, or you can do it whenever you want to capture SMTs or tattoo images as part of initial bookings, criminal arrests, or also in the intake process in prisons, or correctional booking updates, if you will, any of those times. And also sex offender registration and re-registration. Many agencies capture new and additional tattoos or update the tattoo images that they have at those times. And for each of the tattoos, UI makes it very easy to add the FBI, NCI, SMT codes and descriptors for each of the tattoos. And then we, with the T5 Identify product, we automatically templatize those tattoos, turn the images into a biometric, binary representation, so that it's enrolled into our database, so that then later we can do recognition very quickly on these images. And then in using the T5 Identify Tattoo itself, which I'll demonstrate in just a few moments here, you can again upload or capture a new tattoo image, a probe image, if you will, as shown on the left. You can search that against our database, and all the results, the close results, will come up ranked, if you will. You can look at them. You can see a brief summary of who it's for, if you will, and then you can click into it to get more details. You can also compare the images side by side to get a closer look yourself to see if that really is the same tattoo or not. So with that, let me go into a demonstration of this. We have here an instance of our TECH5 law enforcement solution. I have a number of range of different systems here. It's all browser based. You can perform, I'll show the Identify product here in detail, but you also have the ability to create all different types of criminal records or civil records, employee records, all different types of things. You can look at your saved records you have in the system. I've put in some for the demonstration here today, a number of different records, all with tattoos and information about them. You could go and look at any one of those records and see the mugshot, see the SMTs that were added. And this is kind of a typical general thing. We notice often in law enforcement agencies are not like taking perfect images of tattoos. They might just take a full body shot like this. So those are things that we support. And other types of records, as we said, we have lineups, we have auditing cards, other types of things. But let me get into the Identify product. Starting from the beginning here. This instance, we have face and tattoos in the system. We have other biometrics, as we've discussed as well. I'll just focus on Identify Tattoo today. And as I said, you could either take a photo or upload a file. Don't have any tattoos myself here, but so I'll just upload a file. Prepared a few here for the demonstration. This is an example, kind of a tribal type of tattoo, reasonably common. And various types of folks. You can ask for different numbers of results and things of that nature. If I do a search on that, it'll come back with a respond. And you can see, for example, we have examples where these are even more blurred images, so to speak, and it returns this, even though obviously a different color. You can look at them side by side. You can go and look at other details. You can click into the whole booking records for that person as well. Let's just do another example. If we do tattoo, uploading another file, we'll go through this one, for example. Kind of typical, very cropped a little bit or different sizing than what was in the database. Notice here, again, this is kind of a more typical, if you will, in a prison or sheriff's office setting. They may take just a picture that kind of has a lot of the body in it too. And even though later when you get a probe image from surveillance, you could zoom in on it better, but notice it still matches very well with that. You can just update quickly here to go through different examples. This is a classic tattoo. If you update the search for that one. You again can see, even though the orientation is different, actually, it can be any orientation. Our AI algorithms are designed such that the orientation, it can be upside down, anything of that nature, and certainly different sizes and dimensions and lighting conditions and all of that. It's really, it just looks at the patterns, the image itself for comparison at any orientation and even, different roll and pitch, if you will. I'll just go through a few more examples for you here. Example where you might have a photo, there's quite a few crown tattoos there. And if we search on that one, you see again, it's, quite a bit different orientation, different lighting, different coloring, different size. Still identifies that tattoo very, very easily. It's a very good confidence on that. It's showing that rank, if you will. And maybe just a couple more here. Somewhat similar, different crown, just to notice so it doesn't get confused between two crowns that are different. Again, these ones are more similar, different sizing. Again, just showing you on any of these, you can go in and see who the person is. This is excellent confidence in the matching of those images. It does have the arrest record. If you click on that, we actually have this where it opens it up in a new tab. That way you can look at your suspects while you in their histories while you go back and continue to look at other suspects for here. And I think lastly, I might have missed one. We have their big tattoo. This is actually when you look at this match, you'll see it's not the full tattoo in like a surveillance camera. When you look at these side by side, it's missing, part of the left and the right, and obviously it's different color and all that, but yet it still does that. And we can look at this image, and we can open that up in another window too. So as I showed you, it opens those up in other tabs. You can go and look at the details. I think I missed an important one or an interesting one. If you remember the example of the surveillance camera, here you can see this is just a little bit cropped from that photo. You can still see the car there. His face was partly in there. But anyway, you'd crop an image like this a little bit from the surveillance camera. And if you match that one, you'll see it does match off a theoretical example of how this might have been captured if they captured it very well in a prison setting or something of that nature. So I think those are the examples I have here, and I think we're good on time. So I think we can open it up to questions at this time.
That's great, Mark. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat Q&A. We can answer those. We have some time left. We'll also be sharing this information after the call too, and if you have questions after the fact that come up to mind, we can address them at that time as well, or we're happy to set up a call with you to review what your existing tattoo image repository may look like, because we've been doing this for almost 30 years now. So we've seen all sorts of tattoo images. From some are taken really, really good images, where intake takes the time to capture and crop the single images from on the arms, the legs, the chest, the back, the neck, behind the ear. We've seen some where it's just one full body shot. So we're also happy to kind of review those with what your gallery may look like with you too, to see how we can best help you take part and utilize this technology.
Well, I saw one or a couple of questions
Yeah.
there actually, but
There's a question about whether or not skin tone affects.
Yeah, great question, and that's why we test with that. Not really. The only so we've tested with different ethnicities, different colors, and you can see, like even in the example here, someone with sort of a Caucasian skin tone compared to just a black and white image doesn't matter. Only time that can really come into play is a really dark, like black tattoo on a dark skin. Can be a little bit challenging. It's just there does need to be enough contrast between the tattoo color, a little bit of contrast between the tattoo color and the skin color, so the AI can discern, where the tattoo is and where the skin is. So in some cases, especially if it's a dark image, poorly lighted image with those sorts of things. But otherwise, no, color is not really a factor. It's more the shapes of the tattoos themselves that matter. Good question.
Yeah, we'll give it maybe a couple more, 2, 3 more minutes, Mark. See if anyone else has any questions. But like I said, we'll share this information after this meeting, and can definitely circle back if you have questions that come up after the fact as well. And also while we're waiting, something to think about too. One really neat thing about TECH5 USA over the years, we are really here to help solve real world problems for agencies. So, we do everything from enrollment, booking, civil applicants, investigative tools from biometric or biographic searches, biometric searches, face, finger, tattoo, and others, as well as mobile identifying people using rapid ID use cases, solutions out in the field, to others as well. And we really pride ourselves in working closely to listen to agencies that are out there that have specific needs that might even be out of the box. So definitely reach out to us if you have real world needs that maybe haven't been addressed yet, and we'd be happy to explore those use cases with you as well. All right. Well, Mark, I think we'll wrap it up. And like I said, thank you for joining the call. We appreciate your time this morning or evening, depending on where you're located in the world. But again, thank you. And we'll follow up by sending you some information. And definitely reach out if you have questions that come up after the fact. Thank you all for your time.
Yes, thank you.